So hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So in this video I'm going to show you how to define an input path for the shapefile and raster for ArcPython spatial analysis for our research grade workflow. So now let's get started. So this is our ArcPython notebook environment here. So now I'm going to show you how to define an input path for the shapefile and raster for our analysis on revertibility estimation. So in the first step, we're going to define a variable here. So I'm going to mention a variable called sentinel folder. So followed by I'm going to mention folder. And the next step, we have to mention the path for our the input path for our shapefile and raster file. So the shapefile will be our study area boundary shapefile, and followed by the raster file. It's going to be the sentinel to A imagery. So before that, let me specify this raw string here R, and followed by the double quotes. And now I'm going to open my file manager. So this is my file manager, you can able to see. So in this folder here, so here you can able to see this is the folder data, and this is the folder which containing the study area boundary as well as the sentinel to A imagery. So before copying the input path here, first let me extract the sentinel to A imagery, and in the video description section, I will attach a video on how to download a sentinel to A imagery from Copernicus. So this is the downloaded file here. So I'm going to extract here. So I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to click this option called extract here. So it's going to extract the sentinel to A imagery here. So right now we have extracted the sentinel to A imagery here. So we're going to open this. So here we're going to navigate to this folder called granule. And in that we have this folder L2A. So we're going to click this folder. And in that we have this folder called image data. So we're going to open this. And here we have three different folders. One is containing the bands of 10-meter bands, followed by the second folder which containing 20-meter band, and last folder which contains 60-meter band. So for our analysis, we basically require three bands in order to perform normalized difference water index and normalized difference turbidity index. So for that, we're going to select this first folder, that is R10, which containing the 10-meter bands. So in that, we have specifically required three bands here, which is band 3. And let me select that. I'm going to select band 3 and followed by band 4 and band 8. So these are three bands which is required to for us to in order to perform the normalized difference water index as well as the turbidity index. So I've selected using control key and selected each of the required band. I'm going to copy this. So once you copied it, I'm going to navigate back here and I'm going to paste it here along with the study area boundary here. So I'm going to paste it here using control V. So right now three required band has been pasted here along with the study area boundary here. So right now we're going to get back to ArcGIS Pro. So let me copy the path here. So this is the path. So we're going to copy this using control C, and I'm going to get back to ArcGIS Pro, and here I'm going to paste the path here. So to paste the path, we're going to use control V. So right now we have pasted the path here. You can able to see. So this is the path for our shapefile as well as the raster file. And last, make sure that you mention the double quotes again. And the next step is to import the study area shapefile here. And before that, here I'm going to specify this as our main folder. So this path is going to be our main folder here. So the next step is to import our study area boundary polygon here. So here for that, here we're going to mention is study area shapefile. So we're going to mention is study area and followed by shapefile. So this is my variable called study area shapefile, and in that here, so here we're going to use a specific function called os.path.join here. So let me mention that. I'm going to mention is os.path and followed by .join function. So this os.path.join function which combines the folder path, which is the sentinel folder, and the file name of our shapefile here. So the shapefile of our study area boundary polygon, which is study area boundary. So I'm gonna access this particular shapefile inside the ArcGIS Pro. So here I'm gonna mention this particular variable called sentinel folder, which is our main folder. So I'm gonna mention that sentinel folder, and followed by the name of the shapefile here. So the shapefile name, it's going to be the study area boundary. So I'm going to mention double quotes, and followed by I'm going to mention the exact shapefile name, so which is study area boundary polygon, that is shapefile dot shp double quotes, and let me mention the area here, study area, and last I'm going to close it. And right now the study area shapefile variable now holds the full path to the shapefile that defines our river or river boundary layer, that is study boundary area, layer shapefile. And why we are using os.path.join? So instead of just adding strings, it automatically inserts the correct path separator and avoids the double slash errors. So for that we are using this particular function called os.path.join. And the next step is we're going to define the output folder for our result. So in order to store all the results, we need a separate folder to copy all the results into that folder. So for that we're going to define an output folder for our results. So for that again we're going to define another variable called output folder. So here we're going to mention is output folder, which is equals to here again I'm going to use a similar function, that is os.path and dot join. And again inside this function I'm going to mention the sentinel folder, which is our main folder. So sentinel folder, and here inside this main folder it's going to create another folder called turbidity result. So the name of the folder here I'm going to mention is turbidity. So turbidity results, and I'm going to close this. So it creates a path to a new subfolder called turbidity result, and inside the sentinel folder, and all the generated outputs, for example the NDWI and watermark and NDTI and colored maps, will be saved in this folder called turbidity results. And kind of it is always good keeping the outputs separate from the input, keeps the project more organized. So followed by the next step is we're going to mention if this folder does not exist. So in that case we're going to mention if not os dot path dot exist, and inside the function here we're going to mention the folder, that is output folder. So basically this line of code checks if the folder already exists, it returns true. If not, it's going to return as a false. So in that case it's going to create a different folder. So to do that again we're going to mention is os dot marked, that is make directory. So I'm going to mention is directory, make directory. And we're going to mention the output folder name, which is output the folder name, which is output folder. So basically it checks for the folder called sentinel folder. So if it exists, it's going to create this for inside the folder as a new folder called turbidity result. If the sentinel folder does not exist, then it's going to create an alternate folder called output folder. So basically this line of code it creates a folder, and in case of missing parent folder, so it's going to basically create a new folder in case of missing parent folder. And this line of code which checks for the existence of the parent folder, which is the sentinel folder. And why is it useful? That is it could, if the folder already exists, that is os.make directory function could raise an error. So this avoids the error and ensures the folder exists without deleting any existing files inside. So the next step is we're going to create a variable in order to access our the individual bands in the Sentinel imagery. So that variable is going to store the full file path to the individual Sentinel band image. So to do that, we're going to first define a variable called a green path. So we're going to access the three bands here. So the bands which includes B3, which is a green band, and B4, which is a red band, and B8, which is the near infrared band. So first, the variable I'm going to specify is a green band. So we're going to mention a green path. For example, the variable name, it's going to be green path, which is equals to here. Again, I'm going to use this particular function called os.path and .join function. So we're going to mention path.join function. And inside this function, we're going to mention the Sentinel folder, which holds this the Sentinel bands here. For example, let me show you that. So this is the folder, that is the data. So which holds this particular bands here, that is Sentinel imagery B3, B4 and B8 band. So to access this to access this individual band, we're going to specify the variables here, which is the variable we specify green path, which is equals to os.path.join, and followed by the main folder, so which represented as Sentinel folder here, the variable called Sentinel folder to access our folder of interest, that is our main folder. And I'm going to specify this particular variable called Sentinel folder. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here using Control V, and followed by I'm going to specify a comma and double quotes here. And let me mention the name of this particular band here. For example, I'm going to navigate back to the file manager. So this is first is a green band which represents B3 band here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to select rename. So I'm going to copy this name here. So name of B3 band, I'm going to copy this. And once you copy it, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to paste it here. And I'm going to mention the double quotes. And also make sure that you give it a file format name, that is JP2, followed by double quotes. And I'm going to close this. Similarly, the next band is red band. I'm going to specify the red path here. So this is basically a path to the individual bands for B3, B4 and B8, which is green, red and near infrared bands. And followed by I'm going to specify the similar. Let me copy this here. I'm going to copy this, then I'm going to paste it here. And instead of I'm going to mention the file name for the red band here, I'm going to navigate here. The red band number is B04. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to rename. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to get back to our ArcGIS Pro and I'm going to paste it here. And similarly for the near infrared band here, I'm going to copy this entire thing. I'm going to paste it here. So instead of red here, I'm going to mention the NIR path, and followed by I'm going to change this particular file name of NIR band here. I'm going to get back here, and NIR band is represented as a B8 band. So you can able to see here, which is B8, B08. I'm going to right click and I'm going to select and I'm going to copy this. Using Control C, I'm going to get back to our ArcGIS Pro and I'm going to paste it here. And make sure that I give it the file format, which is JP2. And similarly for this particular band too, JP2. So right now, let us run this code. So we're going to navigate to this option called run this cell. So I'm going to click this. So now the code is run. So basically now we have defined the input path for Shapefile as well as the raster file for our ArcPython spatial analysis for our river turbidity estimation. So what we did is we created a variable which holds the path of our the data folder. For example, this particular folder which holds the study area boundary as well as the Sentinel-2A bands here, the required bands B3, B4 and B8. And followed by we created a study area variable which holds the path of the study area boundary shapefile. And followed by we mention output folder for our results to store all the results in this particular folder called turbidity result. and followed by we have created a path for our sentinel to a bands here, which is for the red band, green band, red and NAR bands. So the next video I'm going to show you how to load the study area boundary and visualize it in our Python environment. So thanks for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel and give us a like.